This morning, backlash brewing against Bud Light over its product placement deal with TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney, a transgender actress.
I got some Bud Lights for us.
Her post on Instagram last week showing her surrounded by cans of beer connected her transgender status to what has historically been a male-dominated brand.
Anheuser-Busch loses more than $5 billion in value amid Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light controversy. Wow. All right, so Dylan Mulvaney is in the news as the trans representative of Bud Light. Now, generally, this would be a nothing thing, right? Someone's promoting a product, but it seems to have made some people very, very, very upset. Now, interestingly enough, when I first saw this ad for Dylan Mulvaney, it reminded me of the Bud Light ads Real Men of Genius. Remember these ads?
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Really, Really, Really Bad Dancer. Mr. Really, Really, Really Bad Dancer. Arms swinging, knees bending, head bobbing, to no particular rhythm. You're either dancing or you have fleas. Call me a doctor. As soon as you hit the dance floor, the taunts begin. Is that all you got, playa? Unfortunately, yes, that's all you got. Who's in the house? Some guy who can't dance. That's who's in the house. You're a star. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Happy Feet, because you really put the oogie in boogie. Mr. Really, Really Bad Dancer.
So the Real Men of Genius commercials came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and they were hilarious. They were truly hilarious. And they essentially were mocking men and mocking what they called overlooked profession, like professional wrestling wardrobe designer.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer. Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer. While lesser designers would shy away from putting 300-pound men in spandex, you embrace it.
Now, as soon as I saw the Dylan Mulvaney ad, I just thought of this automatically. So I said, hey, let me put together a Real Men of Genius with Dylan Mulvaney. It should be fun. Check this one out.
Budweiser presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Really Bad Toupee Wearer.
Mr. Really Bad Toupee Wearer.
More than any neon sign or exploding scoreboard ever could, your chrome dome cover says, hey guys, look at me.
What could you be thinking?
Now, before the cancel bar gets me, I must say one thing. They'll obviously have to change the pronouns from men of genius to women of genius and to guy to girl. I understand that. I'm not trying to misgender the person. Bud Light didn't do that. They went a different route. Like placing Dylan Mulvaney in a bubble bath with Bud Light cans all around her.
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
So because of those ads, the backlash was swift and heavy. Anheuser-Busch stock has been dropping amid the Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney controversy. Distributors are spooked by the backlash. Some are saying that they can't even fill orders because no one's buying the brand anymore. And let's not forget about Kid Rock shooting a whole bunch of cases of Bud Light in protest of them having Dylan Mulvaney as a spokesperson. But now you may want to know, why the hell did Bud Light do this, knowing its customer base? Well, here's the head of Bud Light letting you know why.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like, we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
So to break it down simply, Bud Light says the younger customers are quote unquote woke, and we need to align our values with future customers' values, because the people who are drinking Bud Light now are going to be dead in a couple of years. We want to get the people who are going to be drinking Bud Light in 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And the only way we can get them is if we align our values with theirs. Now, depending on what side of the political spectrum you are, one side is going to say this is all transphobia. The other side is going to say this is all capitalism. On the left, they're going to say the only reason why there's this backlash is because Dylan Mulvaney is a trans woman. If she was just a woman, then we wouldn't be hearing about any backlash. If she was a man, we wouldn't be hearing about any backlash. But the reason why we have a backlash is because this is someone who is part of the LGBTQ plus community.
It really tickles me watching these men pour their Bud Lights down the sink.
Bud Light, all Bud products.
Or drive over them with their trucks, or pew-pewing them with fucking assault rifles. Pew, 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 pew. Think that Anheuser-Busch, with all the research that they do and the millions of dollars that they sink into marketing, didn't calculate and account for you to have a temper tantrum and drop off as customers? They knew exactly what they were doing. They know that Gen Z, as they get older and older, are starting to age into drinking age. They know that Gen Z is far more enlightened and accepting and woke, as you call it. Embrace the LGBTQ plus community. So sacrificing you, no brainer. So Anheuser-Busch and companies like Anheuser-Busch, really, they're just playing the long game by aligning their views with their future customers' views. So it's not really you boycotting them more than it is them being willing to disregard you and leave you behind.
As we saw before, the stock price is falling, sales are down tremendously. So there is a problem, because don't forget, people have to drink beer now for Bud Light to survive. So now you've heard the left's argument that, hey, this doesn't matter, Bud Light doesn't care. Now let's listen to the right's argument on why this doesn't make any sense. Why are they so mad? Here's Tommy Lahren to lay it out for us.
Y'all, I'm all about personal rights, freedom, liberty, and expression, so let your freak flag fly. Just keep it out of my face and away from children. Not a lot to ask. But unfortunately, we've reached peak wokeness in 2023, where damn near everything, and I mean every freaking thing, has gone woke. Even crap that was once super redneck, super middle America, small town-esque, has now gone full ass woke. Think I'm kidding? Take a look at Bud Light. Yes, Bud Light's latest marketing ploy.
Cheers.
And the trans community demands visibility, but this trans stuff is everywhere. You literally cannot miss it. Believe me, I've tried. The trans community also claims to be disenfranchised, but weird when people like Dylan Mulvaney are raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars in endorsement deals, and not just from your typical LGBTQ companies. Clearly, Bud Light is doubling down on that by not only sending Dylan Mulvaney a commemorative can for his 1-year anniversary of pretending to be a woman, but also releasing a statement that the partnership with Mulvaney helps the brand authentically connect with audiences. Are you sure? Do you even know who your audience is? Because methinks not. And I bet a lot of the folks in the marketing department probably agree with me, but they wouldn't dare say anything because they know then they'll be labeled a transphobe or some other BS label the leftists have weaponized to keep us reasonable people quiet.
Now, it's interesting to see how some celebrities are backing Bud Light's move and other celebrities are trashing it. For instance, Howard Stern, he's trashing both Kid Rock and Travis Tritt, saying their response over the outrage is essentially transphobic. Here's what he said. I thought there must be a piece of the story that I'm missing, Stern said. I'm not bothered by gay people or transsexual people. They don't impact my life. They don't hurt my life. I love when people are in love. You want to be a woman, be a woman. You want to be a dude, be a dude. Be whatever you effing want. As long as you ain't hurting anybody. I'm on your team, he added. Howard Stern goes on to say, I wish I could call Kid Rock and have him come on the show and just tell me, why are you so upset about this? How was this harmful? I don't know why he got upset, Stern said. All right, so now I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to toss this to the comment section. Because on one side, they're essentially saying that anyone who disagrees with Dylan Mulvaney selling Bud Light in a tub is transphobic. And that's the only reason why they don't like Dylan Mulvaney. And the other side is saying this is a know your customer issue. The customers that they're selling this beer to are not into the transgender movement. And this is not something new, right? We all understand simple marketing, for instance. If you're the NRA, you're not going to make Joe Biden the spokesperson for the NRA, right? Or you're not going to make Trump the spokesperson for the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Information, right? Because obviously the people who are supporting these movements, either the NRA or GLAAD, aren't going to be happy with these two figures being the head of those companies because they don't align with their values, the people who are actually paying the money to have these things work. So that's what seems to be happening here. But instead of you having these political organizations, you kind of have a beer company. And Bud Light has for years, kept that lane about being middle America, Cowboys hats and Clydesdales. Now, if you flip it against your customer base, there will be a response. There will be a negative action. But again, I'm throwing a question to you. Do you think all this backlash is just simply transphobic, or do you think it's a know your customer issue? Let me know in the comment section how you came out. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you next time. Peace.